The last big holiday I went on was a trip to Toronto with my wife. We'd gone to see Niagara Falls, climb the CN Tower, and watch the city's ice hockey team. And in the taxi, on the way to that game, the taxi driver asked me why we'd travel thousands and thousands of miles to see a team that were absolutely rubbish. Absolutely rubbish. I was shocked. This is a team that had the best young player in the world at the time. They had a handful of all-stars. They had players that had won Olympic gold with Team Canada. This is not a team that's absolutely rubbish. And the guy just laughed at me. He laughed and he told me that they were actually the worst team in the city of Toronto. And then, as taxi drivers do, he explained why. So he said that Toronto FC, the football team, they just won the league. And they'd done that by going out, signing the best director of football they could afford. That director of football had gone out, hired the best coach he could afford, and that coach bought the best players for his system. The local basketball team, the Toronto Raptors, they were on their way to winning the NBA championships at the time. Again, they'd hired the best general manager they could afford, he'd gone out and hired the best coach he could afford, and the coach bought the best players for his team. Toronto Maple Leafs, the hockey team, they were terrible because they'd done it all backwards. They'd gone out, they'd signed the best players available, and then they'd hired a coach to try and fit them into a system, and a general manager who could work with the coach. That was 4 years ago. They've had 2 general managers since then. They've had 3 coaches. They've spent even more money on even better players, and they have won absolutely nothing. So what? Well, that's why if a client comes to us and he asks me for great copywriting, we tell them that they're doing it backwards. If you pay for the best content and then you try and come up with a strategy to use that content, you're going to get absolutely nowhere. The best thing to do, the right thing to do, is to put your message first. And that's what we do. First, we come up with a great message that explains what makes your business special. Then we develop a strategy that puts the message across, and then right at the very end we go and we create the content assets that fit that strategy. Then when we're celebrating a big win, we tell the client, don't just thank us. Thank one very baffled taxi driver who's probably giving tourists in Canada fantastic business lessons.